Hi again, Doug here from X-Frames FPV, and today I've got another build-out video for you that's a little different. And you might be wondering why we have what looks to be an RR5 here sitting off to the side, and we'll get to that in a minute. Well, let's first get to the frame. This is an Xhover R5LX. So they have the R5X and the R5LX. The X is a true X, meaning it's symmetrical, same side to side and front to back. And then the LX is what's called a stretched X, which means it's longer front to back. And that provides for some really smooth forward speed. It's great for racers. Turn in is really nice and predictable on it. So you'll have more authority, pitch wise than you will in roll. And so really excited about this build. I do build a Hyperlight from Surge over there, and his is a stretched X, and I really like it. So I'm excited to get this built. Another thing I'm excited about, let's hit right off from the beginning. What have I said for a while? I love PDBs with, okay, come on. No, you should just grab that focus. I shouldn't have to, there you go. PDBs with built-in voltage regulators. And this has it. We've got 5 volts and 12 volts right on board. It's laid out, the Xhover PDB has always been laid out really, really well. You can get to the pads on the bottom, so if you did want to mount it for a cleaner look, if you want to mount it this way, you could as well. And so that's a really good PDB, and it is included in the kit. The arms, let's grab my micrometer here. Hang on a second. I don't like usually to do that, but I don't want to start the video again. Let's zero it out. And the arms, these are going to be, these are 3mm arms. And then I believe we have a 2mm, 2mm for the bottom plate. 1.5 for the mount plate, and top plate feels like 2mm. Yeah, 2mm. So I'm excited with this being 3mm, it should be nice and light. So I'm excited to get this built and get it in the air. So let's move on to this part. Why do we have this? And I'll tell you why. This was sent to me from my customer in Texas. And we're kind of updating a lot of the components that he has in his fleet. It's not exaggerating by calling it a fleet of what he has. And this is one I built him not too long ago, but this hobby, things change really quickly. This is the RR5. This is from Impulse RC. This is basically an alien frame. With some little changes, and then sold from Rotor Riot. You can get it from their store. But what we're going to do, he doesn't want the components anymore in this, and there's still some really good components. And I had a frame laying around. I thought, you know what? He wants me just to strip it and then send him back the frame. Not that he couldn't do it, but he's been generous enough to send this to me and say, if you want to fly it, fly it. And I just thought, well, I'll throw it on other components so that he can get his frame back. So let's kind of go over some of the components. These motors are amazing. Now, they are 2205s. Let's see if I can get a focus on there. There we go. These are from Pyrodrone. They're 2205, 2650 kVs. And even though they are 2205, super smooth, very, very quiet, very powerful motor. So we're going to go ahead and use these. And, he's on to pretty much for racing, we're pretty much everybody's on to 2206. But these will make a great flyer and just be a lot of fun. The ESCs, these are the XS30 ESCs, which are still, these are BL Heli S and they're 30 amp for camera. This is the newest addition to it. This is the Aero camera with the 2.5 lens with built-in OSD. I'm trying to see in there what it looks like. This does not have, it's got the factory PDB from Impulse RC, which does not have voltage regulators. So you can see I have added a 5 and a 12 volt regulator to it. That will stay with this frame, and I will use the PDB that comes with the R5LX. And then as far as flight controller, this is an F3. This is a Series Pro F3 flight controller. TBS Unify for the VTX, and then an X4R receiver. So, these components, this is still going to be a really great flyer. And the reason I wanted to use these components on here is because with this being a 3-inch, a 3 millimeter arms, it kind of makes sense to let's build a really super light build. And these motors are really light. I'll get them weighed once we kind of move forward and I get everything off of there. But they're a nice and light motor, being a 2205. And so that it's going to be a perfect pairing for this to be a fairly light build. The XS30s are a little bit, they're a little heavier, but it'll still be nice and light. So I'm excited to get this built and kind of have some fun with it and kind of see what using some older components on a newer frame, kind of what the overall experience is going to be. So guys, I appreciate you. I'm going to say this every single video and you're going to get tired of hearing it, but it's the truth. I really do appreciate you. If you guys have any questions or comments, obviously leave them in the comment section. My website is xframesfpv.com, and that's where you can go and see my builds and kind of get an idea of pricing. The description here has all my contact information, so if you need to contact me. And again, thanks so much, and I hope you get some time today to fly.